Good evening, John.
Evening, Greg.
Good to see you again.
On Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday. Big night, right?
Big night.
You ready for the podcast?
Absolutely. We had a little Super Bowl party. The music must be coming through. What are you telling me here?
It's an intro music. Right? Super Bowl.
Great.
We got SCOTUS. Boom. Labor shortage. Cancel culture.
Hey,
I got a pop question.
yeah, top question. Hope I do better this week than last.
You ready for this podcast?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm a one-man production crew.
You are. You're amazing.
All right, man. Good to see you again, John.
You too, buddy.
Good. It's been a heck of a week, huh?
Has been.
Much been going on?
Well, you know, it's a slow week in the retail business, but it's always good.
It was slow. It was cold this week.
It was cold. So the weather was a little bit of a thing. We had a couple really good days. So when the weather was nice, Friday was fantastic. Friday, Saturday, but the rest of the week,
It was just slow.
it's slow. Time of year.
What?
Time of the year, I think.
Time
A
of
little
year.
hangover from the holidays, taxes coming up,
Right.
stuff like that.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But good. Always good.
But overall, I think things are going well.
Absolutely.
In the economy, things are looking good.
I think very good. There's just this weird thing with the inflation that got people a little wig, but other than that,
Can you explain? Okay, so I
I mean,
hear
unemployment rates like record lows and stuff.
it
50s.
is. Okay, so you mentioned inflation. This is not on our list, but
I'll try to do a little bit.
Can you kind of explain what you know about inflation and how it works and how it affects us?
Sure. I mean, I will try to keep it pretty short. But the essence of the inflation we have right now is a little different than traditional inflation. So you call it COVID inflation or something of that nature. So there's a number of factors. The first one is that when the whole world shut down to keep the economies of the world from just totally crashing, a lot of money went out from governments to keep people in their homes, things like that.
Government sent out
Right.
paychecks
Yep, and
to
then
keep the wheels turning.
that's right, and yet you couldn't spend money on a lot of things you normally couldn't go on vacations, couldn't eat out at restaurants. So there's this lump of cash that people have built up. So that's one thing. Then you have all these people that had menial jobs that they didn't really love anyways, and they realize after not working for a while, they don't necessarily want to go back to that unless they get paid more. So you have this factor of employers have to pay more to get people to come back to do the same job.
But hold on a 2nd Inflation to me, just the average
Well,
down the street,
this what leads it up.
means
explain it.
prices are going higher.
Correct, and that's exactly what I'm getting at.
Okay.
So when the employer has to start paying an average of $12 to $15 an hour for stuff they were paying $7 or $8 an hour, their prices start going up. So you have to pay people to come back, but you have to charge more to pay them.
Gotcha.
That's one side.
And that's also part of the supply chain as well, right?
Correct. It leads to that, and the supply chain leads to higher expenses also.
Houses cost more to build, wood costs more, brick costs more.
Correct. You
windows
can't get
cost
stuff.
more.
If you can get it, you pay for it. Pay what you got to pay to get it. So it's a little bit of a vicious cycle of some sort, but this is, again, a unique scenario. It's not like a traditional inflation would be more from poor monetary policy or things of that nature that would cause people to panic buy or things like that. Like you look at poor countries in Central and South America, especially in the 70s and 80s, inflation was out of control because there was no predictability. That's why people wanted dollars. This is very different, even globally, but mostly here especially, because
So this is
temporary.
Supply and demand
mostly,
issue,
and people
right?
having money to spend, so they're willing to pay for to get what they've
Willing to
been
pay a
waiting
premium.
for.
Willing to pay a premium.
They've been waiting for it.
Pent up demand.
Pent up demand. Right. I think by the middle or end of this year, it should settle down. Interest rates will go up. Got to do something to tamp it down a bit, but not that much. I mean, that's another thing. We've had historically low interest rates for like close to 20 years now, right? And so now they're going to go up a little bit, but we're talking 2.5% prime. That's, you go in the 70s, 80s, 90s. That's ridiculously cheap.
The 70s, well, I think in the 70s, 80s, it was like 18%.
Well, prime rate was somewhere in it's still around 8, 9 to 10, and then
Okay.
regular interest rates are compounded upon that.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, which is why you can get a mortgage for your house for
Super cheap.
super cheap, or buy a car super cheap.
So now I forget the original question I asked you
What
about.
is what? Why do we have inflation now? Or explain inflation.
Right.
And I was saying it's a little
But
different
what I
than
asked you
typical.
before that, what I asked you before that.
Before the inflation question,
Yeah.
how am I doing? How's the week?
Okay. Okay.
How are we doing?
Good.
How are you doing?
And I'm doing fine.
Good. Good.
Do I have inflation? Yeah, I guess so. At the
To me, it seems
taqueria.
minor.
At the taqueria. I mean, the cost of goods
Yeah,
are
what are your
going
prices
up.
up? Generally,
We
a couple percent.
we raised our prices. We went up $1 or $2 on items.
Yeah.
We just had to keep the lights on.
We did too. I mean, generally, our prices went up. I'd say about 5%, 5 to 10.
You have to.
Yeah.
You just have to. And I think people are accepting it. Maybe it's maybe it's a correction in our economy, because if you look at Europe,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
I mean, things are expensive there, but they're expensive there for other reasons.
True.
There's a whole other set of factors. why I
Culturally,
think-
very different
Right.
retail systems and all
right,
kinds of stuff.
everything's right. But
Yeah.
yeah. So then yeah. So
I do think there's a correction there. That's a good point. Like so for a long time, the wealthy people have made more and more and more money, the investor class, and the wages for your average person have not kept up with
No.
that.
no,
And
proportionally.
that actually kept inflation down, because you could pay someone less to work for you.
Oh. Gotcha.
I mean, minimum wage is a thing. I don't think it should be anywhere near $15 an hour. Somewhere around 10, I think, would be fair from a nationwide standpoint. It's still 7.75, but no one's making that now.
I think it's okay for people to make $15, $17 minimum wage.
Yeah, sure, but I don't think you should.
I think it's fair.
I don't think that the federal government should
If you're in
force.
Greensboro.
Yeah, I don't think the federal government should force a small business in Mississippi to pay their employees $17 an hour or $15 an hour. That's what a federal minimum wage.
Yeah, because it's unsustainable.
You're going to have a bunch of businesses go out of business, small businesses, and then the big businesses like
Right.
Walmart and stuff that can afford it, they dominate.
I agree.
So that's why that's what I'm talking about. Federal minimum wage, I don't think should be higher than like 10. That's my take.
Well, they're going for 15.
That's what most Democrats are shooting for. But I mean, Biden's even admitted they can't do that. They're not going to be able to get that done.
Okay, so then if you take, for example, a town like Greensboro,
Most cities can do it.
don't you got to make at least $15 an hour to
To give a roof over your head and eat
yeah,
eat halfway healthy.
just
you
just
do.
to live a normal,
Correct.
decent life.
Yes. I would say though that
15 times 4 is what's 15 times 4? 15 times 40. $600 a week.
right.
Minus taxes is what?
Well, if you're making that, you're going to get all your money back from your taxes you pay.
But you still got to pay.
You got to pay them and then you get
Right.
it back. Get your
I
refund.
mean, that's $2,400 a month. I mean, that's
That's pittance.
pittance. That's
Yeah.
just.
I mean, right now, my mortgage is less than rent at a one
Right.
bedroom apartment.
Right.
It's $600-700 for a one bedroom
That's
apartment.
cheap. That's
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah, and
That's cheap.
that might include water. Doesn't include power.
And in your case, there's no sense in paying it off.
No, there's not.
No, you just write off the interest and keep on going.
Correct.
Right.
It really is, because my interest rate's so low. I have thought about paying it off, but it doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make sense.
So
Your money can make
My money
You can
makes
buy
more.
Tesla
I buy
stock.
Tesla stock.
You can buy Tesla stock.
It more than overcomes that
Right.
by far.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Speaking of Tesla,
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to know what Elon Musk has been doing this week. Tell me, he does a lot.
I got a funny one. I got a funny little tidbit.
And we have a lot to go over.
We do. I'll
Tell
be
me
really quick.
one big thing that he's done this week, Elon Musk.
This isn't even a big thing. It's just a funny thing.
Okay.
So Tesla's, the regulatory bodies decided a few years ago that electric cars had to make a sound at a certain speed so that pedestrians would know that the cars are there because they're so quiet. You've heard me pulling out of the driveway.
It makes no sound.
Yeah.
It makes no sound.
You might hear the tires on
Right.
something. Anyways, so Elon and his people have a sense of humor. So one of the things they did, they decided we're going to take these speakers and we're going to give you a game. It's called Boombox. And you can play music outside your car. It's fun. It's a joke.
Right.
People certainly are going to know you're there.
Right.
You can also pick out what car you want your car to sound like. You can make it sound like a Lamborghini, a Porsche, whatever you want to do.
Right.
Well, this week the regulators made them do an update, and they called this update that removed that feature, the fun feature. They called it a recall. So Tesla had to do a recall as though it was a defect
on the boombox
Yes.
feature. Why?
Because they determined it was just too much fun, I guess. As Elon said on a tweet, someone asked him why they did it, and he said the fun police made us remove it. Which would be NISTA or something.
That is the government being a DICK.
Just wasting people's time and money. Yes.
You know, that's what the government's being, a DICK. Really,
Nailed
man.
that.
I mean,
Nailed
let's
that. That's just ridiculous.
have some fun.
Have some fun.
But I think he should go back and change it to the Knight Rider sound.
Well, this is the point. You could do that. You could make it the Knight Rider sound if you wanted to. And besides that, he did the other
That
thing.
would be cool.
The other
he had
thing.
a car with a Knight Rider sound.
The other thing is, if you want to go check it out, the really big thing he did was he had the update on the Starship, which I mentioned last week.
Right.
Go check it out on YouTube. It's incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I can figure out how to do it, I'll put a link in under our podcast.
We're still trying to figure this out.
Yeah, we're still learning.
This is not easy. This is
We know how to talk, but we don't know how to
putting
do
this
this
on
stuff.
TV is not easy.
Did you put the rabbit ears up?
I did. The rabbit ears
Okay.
are up. Plenty of aluminum foil. Plenty of
foil in
aluminum
there.
foil.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. And one's sticking out the window.
Okay.
One's sticking out the windows.
All right. So down to business.
So, are you ready for our first topic?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, hold on. Wait a second here. Now I can do it.
Okay. Beautiful.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Super
fun.
Bowl.
Was it fun? It was fun, wasn't it?
It was a close game.
It was.
It was an honest, close game. I was shooting for the Bengals.
The Bengals, right?
The Bengals, not the Bangles, but I call them the Bengals because I like the song.
There you go.
Songs.
Good reason to pick them.
Yeah, but it was a good
It was a
game.
very good game.
Right.
It's one of the better Super Bowls I've seen.
Rams won at the end.
They did.
Right.
In the end, the better team won. And I say that only meaning like they have more experienced players. Key plays made at the end by arguably the quote-unquote better team. The Bengals were a shock to get there, and they did a phenomenal job.
Wouldn't it have been cool
It would have been
if
cool.
the underdog had won?
Would have been cool.
I always go for the underdog.
Would have been cool. I love Joe Burrow. I'm excited. He has a great future ahead of him. So it was a great game. And one of my friends mentioned that she thought she's not even a big football fan, but she watched it and really enjoyed it. And her comment was, one of the great things about it is both teams played their hardest.
Are her initials TC?
Yes, they are.
Her initials are TC.
Yes.
From Magnum PI.
That's right.
TC.
TC, Magnum
Okay.
PI.
We will keep her anonymous to protect the guilty.
Or innocent.
TC.
So she loved the fact that they.
You
both
think she's
teams-
innocent?
Yeah, of most things. Aren't we all guilty
We're
of
all
something?
innocent.
We're all innocent of most things. And guilty
TC,
of
I'm
a few.
calling you guilty. Nobody knows who you are.
We're guilty of a few
I love you,
things.
TC.
We're guilty of a few things. each
Click,
of us.
subscribe, something.
That's right.
Do something.
So anyways.
Help us out.
So she's guilty of subscribing to us.
She's guilty.
As crazy guys.
That's right. So anyway, yeah. So then.
So she loved the competitiveness up to the end, and she thought that Joe Burrow was a really classy guy afterwards in the interview.
Did he take it well?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I went up here.
You were prepping for
I was
this.
prepping for this.
Yes.
For our
So
our
yeah.
podcast.
So that's the Super Bowl. We had a good
That's
time.
Super Bowl.
Oh, the chili was great.
Chili was great.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing.
And the local beer was great too.
The local beer was great. Chili was great. Good wine, and also they had a fantastic
Halftime. Fantastic.
Yes.
What a show.
It was Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre,
Mm-hmm.
Eminem,
50 Cent. Mary J.
50
Blige.
Cent, Mary J. Blige. That was a strong
Great.
show.
You know, something came up that I did not even notice. They said Eminem. They knew Eminem was going to kneel, as in it was like a protesting kneel. I didn't see that. I missed that.
I think in the end he may have, but
because we were all in conversation.
I don't know if that was like a protesting kneel.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think that was just kind of like the end.
We're done, like the end. Well,
yeah.
The reason I say it is just because I saw a news blurb on ESPN.
Yeah.
So who knows?
That can be interpreted.
People making stuff up.
Well, look, they weren't singing the Star Spangled Banner or the national anthem.
No, so it doesn't matter.
So I don't.
It's like a bow. It's like a bow at the end of something.
It was
right?
like a bow. So
There
I
you
don't
go.
think there's any connection. So
No,
the people
but it was
trying to
great.
connect
That was
it-
one of the best ones. I like
That
the
was a good
Prince.
one.
I like the Prince halftime a little better in the pouring rain.
in the
Playing
rain.
Purple Rain.
Prince said.
Oh my God!
His handler says.
Best halftime.
His
ever.
handler says, "It's raining." He says, "I don't care. Let's go."
Yeah,
That's Prince.
what a performer.
He did it.
I miss him.
He did it. I miss him too, man.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, he had
anyways,
his-
I'm
he
carrying
even had
on.
his own color.
He did.
He had his own color.
He even had his own no name for a while.
He had his no name for
The
a while.
artist.
Yes,
For-
he had no
known as
name.
a logo, a little shape.
He had a logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss him.
pretty big.
So at the Super Bowl, there were some special
Celebrities.
guests. Some celebrities. Some like I don't know if they're called controversial, but they're kind of they're in the news.
They're a hip couple.
They're back together.
They're back. Yep.
Ben and Jen.
Yes. And it's so interesting.
After 17 years,
Yes.
they're back. Right?
And
2002, 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Got engaged in November 2002, called off 2004,
Yeah.
and now they're back together.
Jennifer says they were just too young that when they got back together. It was like, where was us all this time? And they're ready for it now. They got kids, just a different life. They're ready for each other now. That's what she says. We'll see.
So you think it's going to work?
I think it's got a good shot. But also, Ben was so busy being a movie star back then. You know what I mean? Doing 2-3 movies a year and blah, blah, blah. And she was busy in her career. She's still busier than he is, I think.
I think if I were dating Jennifer Lopez,
do whatever.
I'd find time.
I'm going to say do whatever
I'd
it takes.
find time.
Do whatever it takes. Make it work.
I mean, if he makes like 10 million a movie,
make it work.
I'd skip a movie.
Yeah. Make it work.
I'd skip one to be with her.
For sure.
Right?
I'm with you on that. It's worth it.
But they're back together.
They are.
Will they last?
I hope so.
That's the question. Will they last?
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes second time around is
Yeah.
better, right?
Absolutely. Well, again, you have experience. If you're back together again, that means you've made the choice that the good was better than the bad.
Right. Right.
So you're going to work through it.
Sometimes it takes more guts to try again than to not try at all, right?
Correct.
Takes more guts,
Correct.
right?
So I've determined, since it was Super Bowl Sunday, I'm going to finish my beer before I
I have
enjoy
another one. If
Oh, great.
Whenever you're ready.
Great. Though then I will finish. Then I'll finish that. Go to the lovely wine we have here, and a newscast is always better with just the right amount of imbibement.
Brian Gumbel couldn't have done this.
No, that's what's cool about
Phil Donahue couldn't have done
the big
this.
news with John and Greg. Hey,
Right?
you know you get the truth when you got this stuff.
Connie Chung couldn't have drank on the job.
No,
Right?
no, it's a special
Anderson
thing.
Cooper can't drink on the job.
Oh, except on New Year's Eve.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Oh, he and Andy were Andy was wasted.
Anderson Cooper can get away with anything. He can.
Oh my gosh.
He can.
He can.
He can get away with things that other people can't get away with.
Well,
Why?
because he's a nice guy.
He's good looking.
Good looking, nice guy.
Nice guy.
Been there a long time. And in reality, his little things that he gets away with are actually pretty minor.
Did you hear about his colleague during COVID?
His colleague, like his boyfriend, is
No. His colleague, the guy who works with him on
oh
CNN.
oh yes.
Jeffrey Toobin.
Yes.
Jeffrey Toobin.
Jeffrey was talented guy.
He's back.
He's back.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
That's just called a faux pas.
Okay.
That's just called a faux pas. What he did was a faux pas.
Yes. He rightfully should be back, and he is.
I mean, he's just being a normal guy.
Yep.
Human body functions. He was off the air. He was like, hey, I need to handle some business.
Good way to put it.
Right? I mean, basically, he was like, he was doing his newscast.
Yep.
He obviously had something on his mind.
Yes.
Something was on his mind, right?
Right.
Maybe he woke up early, had something on his mind, had to do a newscast. He's like, when I'm done with newscast, I'm going to take care of business.
I like the way you put that.
Only mistake he made was he didn't turn off the camera.
Yeah, yep.
You got to turn on the camera.
Yep, gotta be, it's like a lot of news stuff, they have little buttons, like if you got to clear your throat or whatever, you got to hit the cough button.
I mean...
We don't have that, we're not that high tech.
Well, when we're done here...
Yeah.
I cut off the power to the house.
We're using up all the power right now.
That's right. Oh, God.
We got to get rolling, don't we?
We gotta get
It's going to be like a
rolling.
2-hour episode.
Oh, well. We're having fun, right?
We're having a great time.
Right? We're having fun. Okay, so Ben and Jen are back together.
Yep.
Jennifer, right?
Yep.
So they're
That
back
was
together.
the nickname for them.
Right. So they're back together. Good luck with them. So I guess we need to talk about our next subject, right?
A little more serious.
A little more serious. And you're going to take the reins on this one, okay?
Sure.
Because you're the smarter between the two of us.
That's not true. I mean, you're the more fact-tweaky guy. I'm definitely not smarter. So SCOTUS.
SCOTUS. What's happening? So this is a big deal going on for the past several weeks in America is the Supreme Court, because Biden gets to choose a new Supreme Court.
Right.
Stephen Breyer's the guy
Retiring.
who, I guess he makes the ice cream.
Yeah, I think so.
He makes the ice cream.
Maybe it's his cousin or something.
His cousin. He's retiring, right?
Yep.
So now he gets to choose somebody.
Yep.
Tell us about who he's choosing. What's going on?
Well, so I mean, this is definitely not the definitive decision. People say they're vetting like a dozen women, African American women. They said they're going to do that. But there's one particular one that it comes to mind that is really interesting because Jim Clyburn, who is very important congressman who basically saved
the guy
Biden's
who we
career.
tried to remember last time.
We couldn't remember his name.
Yes, it's Jim Clyburn. We got close, but we didn't remember.
You had Jim something.
I had Claiborne or Clayton or something. I was, yeah.
Anyways, Jim Clyburn.
Jim Clyburn.
So we did some research this week.
Yeah, we actually researched. We took 5 minutes instead of one.
So Jim, who was critical in helping Biden's campaign get back on track in South Carolina, he's particularly fond of Judge Michelle Childs, who is unique in the sense that she's not your typical Harvard, Yale type graduate, which most Supreme Court justices, that almost seems historically to be a qualifying thing. And so
she graduated from the University of South Carolina.
South Carolina, correct.
Regular girl.
Right, and that's one of the reasons that Senator Lindsey Graham has suggested on Fox News that he and probably up to 10 or more Republicans would support that vote because she's a regular girl. She definitely leans more to the left, kind of, but appropriate for a Breyer replacement. A center left sort of judge. Apparently, I don't know much about her judicial history because 5 minutes doesn't let you research all of that.
Right. That's okay. But she seems on the surface. On a quick read, she seems like she's got what it takes.
Oh yes, no, she's definitely sharp as a tack.
She's sharp as a tack.
She's actually currently in the South Carolina the Supreme Court of whatever they call the top court in South Carolina.
And to make it fair to our listeners, we need to disclose that she is an African American woman. We haven't said that yet. We mentioned it before, but we just need to mention it.
I did mention that all of the candidates that he's looking at are African American women.
Yes.
And she would be included in that.
She'd be included.
Yes.
I think she'd be okay.
I'm with it. I like it.
A quick read says
it makes sense.
She's okay. I mean, I don't think she's
of the ones I've heard mentioned, they all seem like they'd be, pretty good. But she does seem to. I like the everyday person aspect of it.
So I actually found in this article about
SCOTUS
about Michelle Childs, our guy. What's his name again? I'm losing
Jim Clyburn. Jim Clyburn?
Graham.
Oh, Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why he likes her, because they're in the same
South Carolina? Right? Oh, I'm sure that's part of it.
But
I'm sure
Lindsey Graham actually gave her a good quote.
Yeah.
He says here, but I have told him and his team that if you nominate Michelle Childs, she will be in the liberal camp for sure. But she has a hell of a story. Graham added, and she would be somebody, I think, that could bring the Senate together and probably get more than 60 votes. Anyone else would be problematic.
Exactly.
That was good for Lindsey Graham to say.
It was.
I mean, that's a strong quote.
And that's the quote I was referring to when I said probably 60 plus. But that's nice to have the actual.
And that's
quote.
Pragmatic.
Yes,
that's pragmatism.
That's the Lindsey Graham that we seem to have sort of lost over the years. That's the Lindsey Graham we had when John McCain was still around.
Somebody got a hold of him.
Yeah.
After John McCain died, somebody got a hold of him. Right?
Yeah. Seems weird. But that's the guy. That's the Lindsey Graham.
That's the guy.
Yep.
Because you got to look for the middle. And if your president...
To really get stuff done.
If your president wants to hire an African-American woman, then help him out.
Yeah.
Help him find a good woman that's going to do the job.
Yeah.
Somebody that's going to get the votes, the GOP votes. Yeah. And then you talk to your GOP buddy to say, hey, I got a good girl here. She's going to do a good job. I like her. I met her. She's reasonable.
For sure.
She's not Amy Comey or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
What's her name? Amy
Comey Bryant, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
She's not a member of the cult.
You're right. So one of the things that's interesting, in most of our lifetime, up until the last 10 plus years, me going all the way back to when I was a kid, you'd have most Supreme Court justices would get a significant majority vote. They'd be vetted by the actual senatorial, whatever They call it the ones that are examining, looking at it. And once it comes out of committee, is that, get 60, 70, 80 votes. The vote wasn't on the party line. It was on, is this person qualified? But somehow, in the last 10, 15 years, it's got much more political.
That's the problem today with politics. It's
Correct.
like a zero-sum game.
Yep. It's all my way or the highway. And that's what we are trying to not promote.
That's exactly right.
We believe
the answer's in the middle.
Correct. You've got to learn to compromise. Greg and I don't agree on everything, right? We don't agree on everything, but we figure out a way to make it work.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, you in your daily life, that happens all the time. If you don't figure out a way to make it work, you can't keep your job. You can't work.
It's compromise. It's compromise.
Constantly.
You never get everything your way 100%.
So, and the Founding Fathers sort of had that idea. They wanted divided government. You have to figure it out. Because not everybody knows everything. It's as simple as that.
You want to hear another quote from Senator Graham in the same article?
Sure.
He says, he supported former President Trump's possible re-election bid in 2024, but advised that he'd stop discussing 2020 election fraud claims and refocus on the future of Republican Party agenda. Supporting him, okay, and stop discussing 2020 election.
Move on, you lost.
Fraud claims.
Move on, you lost.
Is one the same thing. It's the same thing. If you believe in him, then you believe in the fraud claims.
I see your point. I was giving Graham credit for an idea that you need to move on because he lost, but you make a good point. If you're still supporting him, then you're still supporting the idea that. Thing. Yeah, it's a good point.
Right.
No, it's a good point. I agree. I thought it was good he made the first comment, but the back comment kind of undermines the first comment.
It does. And Lindsay used to be like a reliable guy. It was
practical guy.
Joe Lieberman, Lindsey Graham,
and the Three Amigos.
And
they nicknamed them the Three Amigos. Yeah,
they're Three Amigos.
Yeah,
they got things done.
Yep.
Oh well, right?
Oh well.
Oh well. So, good luck. We're wishing Michelle Childs of South Carolina good luck.
She's our pick.
Right?
She's our pick.
She's our neighbor.
Yeah.
She's our neighbor.
North Carolina, South Carolina. She's a Carolinian.
She's a Carolinian, man. She's one of us.
Absolutely. We're all in on her.
Maybe we can go visit her.
Hey, we could do an interview. Wow, that might get us some likes and that might get us some subscribers, if not even likes.
We might
even get some thumbs down, but we get a lot of subscribers.
That's right. We find the thumb down. We would find the people with the thumbs down and shove the thumbs up their butts. Since I'm trying not to curse online, we'll shove the thumbs up their butts. I'm trying to keep it clean here, John.
All right, let's go on and
while I'm drinking,
let's go on and boom things. Let's boom things out of here.
Okay, so are you ready for our next one?
Let's go for next subject.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Boom. 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 Supersonic
boom.
Supersonic airplanes.
You are a pilot. Why don't you start this out? What do you think of it?
I think it's a great idea. I think actually as you're taking off of runway 5 left, okay, or either
that's the one with the long taxiway over from where the FedEx thing is.
Yes.
Okay,
5 left.
The west strip.
It is the west strip. So if you take off 5 left, even if you take off 5 right, but if you take off 5 left, and you look to your left, you climb up to about 1,000 feet, and you look to your left, you're going to see this bridge, a huge, heavy-duty bridge.
Huge bridge.
That's not for cars.
I've only driven under it. I actually have seen it once.
Right. It's not for cars. Yes. It's for airplanes.
Correct.
And the bridge goes to an excavated field. In this field, I think in my
That is where Boom is going to be built.
In my notes here,
That is where Boom's going to be built.
it's like a 37,000
It's very
square
large.
foot.
No, it's huge. It's so big. They actually just added another golf. So a lot of it is based on an old golf course that the airport bought about 10 years ago, and now they've actually taken over a golf school to add even more square acreage to the whole thing.
I think it's great.
It's great.
It's great. We got Honda here.
Yep.
Now we got Boom. That's the big deal.
Honda Jet's completely homegrown, which is amazing. Old Atlantic Aero, they started out building prototypes, non-disclosure agreements, and now they've delivered over 100 planes. It's the number one rated plane in its category globally.
So then here,
and then Boom now probably ends up moving their headquarters from Denver, I would think, right? If you're going to make all your planes here, that's where they're based. Colorado. It may not be Denver, maybe Boulder, but anyways, they're based in Colorado. So do you think
they'll have the guts to move their headquarters?
It's something that seems like it might make sense. So one of the reasons they want to be on the East Coast, it just seems like most of the people would be here. So one of the reasons they want to be on the East Coast is there's a couple of big factors. One of them is if you're going to test the plane, you have to go to the ocean to go supersonic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So a fast jet can get to the coast from here in like 20 minutes or something.
Very quickly. Going subsonic.
Right.
Going subsonic.
You can border on supersonic. You're still going 600 plus nautical miles an hour.
Right.
So you can get there pretty quick.
It takes a few minutes.
Yeah. So that's one key thing. Also, it's centralized. Also, they said, and this makes a lot of sense, the actual existing workforce, the expertise in aircraft between HAECO and Honda, A&T, the local community college, GTCC, big part of this. So it's huge for us. I mean, when I moved here to Greensboro to go to Guilford College, it was the second biggest city in the state, 1981. Now it's third, being threatened by Durham.
Boom's going to bring high-paying jobs.
Boom and Toyota Battery.
Engineers.
Going to bring us back.
Everybody, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to bring everybody
They think, according to some economists at A&T and UNCG Greensboro, they think that between those two big things, the Toyota Battery plant, part 1 and 2, and Boom, you're going to have a multiplier effect about 2 times. We're going to probably add 12,000 high-paying jobs, making an average of 60 to 80,000 or more over the next 10 years.
That's good for me. That's good.
It's amazing.
For
you might,
you
might want to sell taqueria and go get a job.
Or I'll just park a taco truck at their front door.
That's what you should do.
Park a taco
you need to become
there.
Get your license to be a test pilot for Boom.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Why not?
Then I can ride with you.
I get my twin engine endorsement.
Yeah.
Right. And then
watch a couple steps from there.
Watch some YouTube videos on how to do it. Everything's
on YouTube.
Just full forward.
That's it.
Full forward. Just put on some oxygen. I'm going vertical.
That's it.
but according to this article here, there's going to be a 37,000 square foot factory on a 65-acre campus.
Yeah.
They're expecting to break ground later this year and begin production in 2024, in 3 years.
Right, and then FAA approvement for stuff brings it to 26 or 7 before we have passengers, probably.
The first aircraft is slated to roll out in 2025.
Yeah, but they were saying that they think for FAA approval, the first passenger, like that United has already pre-ordered 14 or 15 of them. They have a option for more. So Japan Airlines up to 80 or 90 aircraft.
Right. Okay. So then Boom said it has some $14 billion worth of orders and options from United Airlines and Japan Airlines, amounting to 70 aircraft. Boom is also working with the United States Air Force on government applications of the technology.
And they're very clear that these are...
And this is per the Global Construction Review. I don't want people to think I'm making this up.
Right. And those,
I don't want to be a plagiarism.
And those
plagiarizer.
Yes, that's good footnoting. And the aircraft that they're working with the...
Because I'm known to cheat.
the village. Yeah, like that. Like since Cincinnati got caught there and then...
Right.
They had the makeup calls at the end there.
I've been but yes.
But what they were saying is because these are supersonic aircraft, they will only work with them on civilian transport because they don't want to ever risk a government making attack against a boom aircraft, suspecting it could be military.
I don't understand what that means.
Okay, so it would only be used for transporting. There would never be weapons on it. So all of the development would
unless the CIA got involved.
Think
about it. Think about it.
They're very specific. They said they won't do it because they don't want to risk ever having any of the civilian passengers, being a missile shot at them or what have you.
Right.
But the real point of that is the financing to help develop it is being helped by that military assistance.
Gotcha. So also in this article it says Boom said the factory will bring
direct jobs.
More than 1,750 jobs in North Carolina by 2030 and grow the state's economy by some $32 billion over 20 years.
Correct.
That's strong.
That's just direct jobs. And of course, again, that multiplier effect, like Toyota has their big thing. There was the Kevin Baker, the executive director of Piedmont Triad International Airport, said he expects by the time they're finished, the airport area, direct employment in the airport will be over 10,000 people. It's like almost like a separate little town.
So do you think
that includes HACO, Honda Jet, everything?
Do you think planet Earth is ready for another supersonic airplane?
Oh yeah. Earth can handle supersonic, no problem. It's people that don't like the noise.
Want it. People want
to be able to move faster, and this is so much more economical, and the fuel they're using is more environmentally friendly than the Concorde. It's
not kerosene.
No, it's that they're not saying what the fuel is, but it is a new fuel. They're working with Rolls-Royce aircraft engines for the development of this engine, and it's going to be using a more environmentally friendly fuel than any current passenger jets. Okay, so there's that. It's also, the initial one will have a distinct sonic boom, and so you will fly close to supersonic over land, which is still faster than other commercial planes, but you'll be supersonic over oceans and so forth. And for that matter, I guess there are certain areas out west where you might be able to get up to supersonic speed, because once you are supersonic, you won't hear anything. It's just that initial boom, or when you slow down to land, you create the sonic boom. Hence the name of the company. Boom. So that's
I'm
great.
all for it.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm proud. I'm so proud to live in Greensboro.
It's going to be a big deal. It's going to bring so many ancillary jobs to the market.
Exactly.
Right.
That's that multiplier effect.
Right.
That they were speaking
Housing, insurance agencies.
Oh, yeah. Even when they're building the factory, that's going to be massive employment just to build the factory.
So one last question.
Yeah.
One last question about this boom.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like within 10 years, this airplane is going to be rolling.
Mm-hmm. Certainly, they hope a lot less than that.
Okay. So let me ask you this.
They're hoping, 5 or 6 years.
Okay. So why did it take Honda Jet, or actually, how can they do it so quickly when it took Honda Jet
close to 20 years?
Yeah.
Yep.
Why?
Right.
Why?
Okay, so that's an excellent question. And I believe part of it is present CEO of Honda Jet is extremely conservative, and that's one of the reasons the planes are so good. But also the investment that they're getting from the military, that's going to help accelerate that.
Honda had money.
They had money because
Honda had all the money in the world.
Corporate Honda had money.
Any bank will give Honda $1 billion and say, "Pay me whenever you get the money."
Right.
So it's not the money. How are they able to build an airplane so quickly, where it took Honda 20 years? And a more sophisticated airplane.
Yes, correct.
A super fast airplane.
To be fair, the CEO
Honda's
Blake,
building Accords.
This guy Blake, this Blake Scholl or whatever his name is, he's been working on this in Colorado for since 2006ish or something. They have a flying prototype out there. So
Boom does.
Yeah.
So Boom's already flying.
Boom has a prototype, but it's just a two-person plane.
But it actually is a full-size plane.
It flies.
That's flying around.
So yeah, I mean, they've been working on this. So by the time this factory's built, so 2027, that's over 10 years.
Okay. So they already
have FAA approval.
They already have proof of concept.
Yes, correct.
Whereas Honda didn't.
Correct. Honda was showed a prototype at some trade shows. It wasn't flying.
Okay. So they're kind of already a quarter of the way there, for example.
Something like that.
So now they just need the factory, the people, put it together.
They have to finish the engineering on a large passenger jet to carry 88 people, so it's at least two times longer than the current prototype thing they have. So and much wider.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. So, but it's an excellent question, and it leads to one of the problems that Boeing has had. Gosh, we're so out of our realm here. But I mean, one of the problems Boeing has had is the current CEO.
This is the art of talking.
So, and you know a lot about this.
Actually, it's the art of bullshitting.
Bullshitting, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. We know just enough to get ourselves into trouble here.
But it's the art of talking.
Yeah. So Boeing, the problems they had with the 737 MAX, that was because the ownership's publicly held, the management, which chose to move their headquarters from Seattle area to Chicago, also decided that engineering's great, but we don't need brand new planes. We're going to shortcut this. So we're going to take an existing frame and we're going to do a new plane with existing plane, and we can cut the development time in a third. And look what we got out of it.
Well, that was also so they wouldn't have to retrain a whole new set of pilots.
Well, exactly.
They could take a 3-7 pilot. They could take a 3-7 pilot, give them some hours of training, get them brushed up on the new systems, and you're good to go.
And a 737 MAX is a good plane, but
I think the flaw was the angle of attack device.
The new engines are so powerful. Yeah, the new engines are so powerful relative to what the original airframe.
You can cut the engines back.
Yeah, but I mean there's some little software tweaks and so forth. It was a software
problem, and it was angle of attack indicator.
Right.
And if you notice, if you read all the articles, the airplanes that crashed, John, were the airplanes that were from underdeveloped countries or Asian countries.
And the pilots had not.
In Western countries, the airplanes
never had a problem. Nope.
It's a training issue.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's
a
training issue.
But the point I was making, though, is that how long it takes, like you were saying, how long it takes to take a new plane from scratch to production. Long time. Very expensive. When you're supported, like Airbus is, by multiple governments, literally, they're owned by France, Germany, Italy, UK. Airbus is owned by those countries. I think they have some public stock, but
do you know what the president of Japan said to the board members about taking 20 years to build a Honda jet?
I do not.
I love you long time.
We need a drum roll for that one. You got a drum roll?
Here. I got one for you right here.
All right. There you go. That's good. That's
I
good.
love you long time.
Love you long time.
I love you long time.
Okay.
Oh, God,
we should do another subject, I think.
All right, another subject.
I'm making this way too long, like usual.
Okay. Where are we on time?
We're at 50 minutes.
Okay, so we'll do one more. We got two. I'm gonna do one. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna do one that's
do the one that's next, but do it quick. I won't say anything. You cover it because it's important.
Okay, but I want you to help out. Okay.
I mean, I'll throw in a thing or two, but
okay, because I can't.
You should cover it, but we'll do it quick.
I can't do it by myself. Labor shortage in USA, or actually in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this has been going on ever since the pandemic. This is nothing new.
Correct.
Okay, so here I am, a guy with a taqueria, and I see what's going on. Fortunately for me, my guys are loyal. Mm-hmm. I've always paid them well. I've taken care of them.
Yep.
Thank God.
You're a leader.
Thank God we're fine. Mm-hmm. Thank God we're fine, okay?
Yep.
But I've been going to too many restaurants, and I actually flew from here to California, and I stopped along the way and talked to a lot of people. A lot of restaurants are closed on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday. They don't have the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So this isn't something that's just affecting North Carolina or like a few people. This is a big deal. And this isn't just the hospitality industry. Mm-mm. This is a lot of different industries, okay? So the question is, okay, the checks are over, right? I understand that these unemployment checks are over.
Yep.
And I've spoken to people, and people have told me, Greg, it was more profitable to take the damn checks than to go to work. I'm going to take a break.
For some people. Yep.
Right? I'm going to take a break. I'm working hard. I've been working hard for so many years. I'm going to take a break. So the check's over. So where are the people? Mm-hmm. This is the big question. Where are the people?
Where are the people?
So I think that a lot of the people, what they have done is they have used technology that is on your phone, okay, that's on your computer, and they've monetized it. And I'm going to tell you what they've done. I think a lot of these people have said, well, I can go to work and I can work a shift and make $100, let's say. Okay? Make $100. And I go home. And I got to listen to people bitching and moaning at me and, running around and wearing a mask or not, don't even worry about the mask. Just people ride me, right? Because in the restaurant environment, I mean, you've got to have a certain personality to take care of people, right?
Sure.
And you're going to have some
service
people,
industry.
Service industry. Even
customer
in
service.
your industry.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
In the retail industry, you're going to have people that it's hard to satisfy. So I think what has happened is these people who used to work in kitchens or any facet of the industry except for management.
So servers and management to me seem to be more likely to come back than the underlying staff that makes it all work. Kitchen staff,
watch this,
washers,
This has been, servers have not been coming back.
Oh, for you, okay.
No, not for me, for my industry.
True, the articles do say that.
Pardon me?
I say the articles that you read do say
because
that.
I've been to too many restaurants. I don't mean like one or two. I mean several. Yeah. Too many. Where they say the bar's closed. We don't have a bartender today. Mm. You have to sit at a booth. Right. So it's like, okay, I understand. I get it, right?
Yeah.
So I think what these people have been doing, the people who aren't coming back, they have found creative ways to make money.
Using their smartphones.
So I think now people, they say, well, hell, I can make $100 in a few hours on DoorDash, on Grubhub,
Right.
on Uber Eats.
Exactly. Don't have to work
or
as
on
long.
Uber.
Don't have to deal with people as much.
Exactly. I go pick up the food, I deliver it, I get my $100 in 4 hours, and I'm done.
I think you're right. And also like the grocery delivery stuff too.
Grocery delivery,
Instacart and things like
right?
that. Yeah.
And then you also have
Amazon also pays quite well.
Amazon pays well, and then I think also as far as this virtual stuff goes, you have platforms like YouTube, where you can make money if you have
If we're good enough,
a
maybe we make money
podcast.
someday.
If you have a podcast, right?
All we need is 1,000 subscribers, and we can make
Yeah.
enough to pay for the equipment
I
we
think
bought.
we got me, him, and his mom as subscribers. That's it. My mom won't even subscribe. So
We got Mario down in High Point there.
okay, we got Mario.
Yeah, he's a fan.
Good. So I think people are moving to online platforms to make a living, and I'm going to give you two examples that aren't hospitality examples, but they're examples of it's the overall economy that's moving online. Two examples. One, there's this really nice, cute, young police officer who is on TikTok. And so she's in uniform, off duty, wearing her gun, her badge, and everything. She looks good. She's a cute girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing these sexy dance moves on TikTok.
You can monetize TikTok now too.
She's getting paid.
Yeah.
So
If there's advertising, you're getting paid. It's like, I guess Instagram and all these things.
Getting paid.
Yeah.
So then this police department says, hey, stop it. Stop it. She's like, I'm doubling down. She's like, I'm a police officer. I'm going to humanize my job so people don't think that police officers are just these badass people going around arresting people, pointing guns, looking for trouble, wanting to arrest people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to humanize my job. So she's out there dancing.
Kind of a cool concept.
She's doing all these hot dances, right? Flips and everything else. Wearing her gun. It looks good. It looks good.
I'm not a TikTok fan, but I like that.
I saw it on YouTube.
Or
I saw it in one of my news feeds. But it looked good.
I like it.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm like, good for her. So now she's in a big dispute with her police department. But she's found another way.
She could even lead the police force, maybe, if she had to, maybe.
Oh, she could lead the police. Oh, absolutely.
You get that popular, there is. There's a whole income thing on these people. This become popular on all kinds of social media now. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's like whole careers.
Yes, and I'm going to mention one more social media. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And then this will be the end of this segment because it's going to be a fun, cool piece. There is a good-looking school teacher who has a cool husband. She opened an OnlyFans page. She's on OnlyFans. And she's doing stuff on OnlyFans. She's making...
she's doing adult stuff.
She's doing stuff on
Online.
OnlyFans.
Online.
Okay? Her husband's filming it. Her 12-year-old child's not filming it.
Yes.
Her husband's filming it. So I don't think we have to really clarify what she's doing.
Right.
But she's only making $20,000 a month doing it. As opposed to being a school teacher, waking up at 4:45, having to be at work at 6:15.
Right.
She's getting paid.
Yep.
School fires her.
Yep. Well,
You think she cares?
No.
She doesn't care. So what I'm saying is, people are not coming back to their jobs. This isn't the whole reason, but this is just one microcosm.
I think you're onto something.
It's just one microcosm, is because you can make money off of this video.
And you got all this time where they're doing unemployment too to figure it out if they're not already working another job.
Exactly. So
I mean, or investing like Robinhood and things like that let you be a small timer and you can invest in stuff if you're good at it. And there's all kinds of gambling sites.
I won't say his name, but you know him, and his name starts with an N.
Right. I know him.
Right?
Good guy.
He has his phone, and he does investing, and he makes money. He's retired, and he's our age, okay? So there are ways, and he used to be an IT guy. So there are ways to make money other than waiting tables. And I think some people are just getting creative, and they're saying, you know what? I'm going to buy a couple $100 worth of equipment, and I'm going to go online, and I'm going to either do Uber Eats, DoorDash, or OnlyFans.
And a lot of servers are really smart people. They're doing.
Yes, they're smart people.
They can make money doing that more so. Like they could make, if you're a good bartender, you can make a lot of money in 4 or 5 hours versus working, at Belk's or something. They get into it in college and they stay with it or whatever. But you've got a good point. There's COVID has changed the world. How many people won't go back to their offices? They're going to work from home.
Most offices, people work remote now.
Yeah.
I mean, why would a company like Lincoln Financial or some big company, why would they want to rent a big, tall, 40-story building downtown to house all these people, where you can do the same work at home with a couple computer screens and a microphone?
And let's say that, and if that person happened to have children, they don't have to have daycare.
They don't have to have daycare. You just shove the kid in the closet.
Come on, kid.
Just give him some Vicks. Just give him some Vicks.
Give him an iPad. Give him an iPad to play with.
An iPad and some of that Vicks. What do you call it to make?
Dayquil or something.
NyQuil. Vicks NyQuil. Yeah. iPad Vicks NyQuil.
That kid take a
shove
nap.
him in the closet.
Take a nap.
Taking a nap. I'll wake you up at 5 when I'm done.
Oh, by the way, we all did like politically incorrect before Bill Maher was canceled.
Yes. We didn't talk about cancel.
No, but
that'll be our next one. That'll be our next one.
That's a teaser.
That is a teaser. That's a teaser. Cancer culture.
Bill Maher, politically incorrect.
Yes, because we're politically politically more incorrect. No, we're not more incorrect.
We're not really incorrect. We just try to not fit into the norms.
Right.
Hence the term politically incorrect.
We're just kind of politically in the middle.
Yeah.
But we don't mind hitting right and left.
No,
we don't mind hitting.
No, we don't mind hitting it.
Right?
No. We'll go right or left on occasions.
Because a good person can take a hit.
Correct.
And understand that we're not going for the jugular. We're just having some fun.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly. It's all really about fun. That's
what
this is all about fun. If you're not having fun, you probably shouldn't still be here.
And that's right. And occasionally drinking a beverage.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever.
Mixing and matching a little bit.
Whatever, right? So,
but we do like to support local.
We like to support local.
Right here,
taco truck. So that's my take on the labor shortage. I mean, I think
it's an excellent take.
We could talk about it.
I hadn't even thought about that on a serious level. It's come into my mind a little bit because I know some people.
The virtual part.
Yeah. Well, I know people that were doing bartenders and doing Instacart and things of that nature, but I hadn't thought about how big a part that really is. Probably, like one of my favorite restaurants here in town, Cal. Went there last night with my friend, and we had a great time.
Nice guy owns it.
Super nice
guy.
Let's
mention his name.
Yeah.
Say it.
Okay, it's owned by a husband and wife, and they worked really hard for many years developing natty greens. Kane and Jill, developing natty greens, and Kane's real passion was food, not beer. So he went out and created this restaurant, called Kau, Kau, which is a
And his buddy
Polynesian
did the
word
beer
for steer.
part. What's his buddy's
Yep.
name?
Chris Lester still owns
Chris Lester.
Natty's, and they still brew great beer, and I go there too. They have very good food as well. It's more of a lower brew pub, but
It's a
Kau
brew pub.
is prime dining quality in a casual atmosphere. Some of the best steak you'll have anywhere. But why I brought it up is they're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays now because they don't have enough staff, and they don't do lunch.
There you go. There you
They
go.
do dinner Wednesday through
There
Sunday.
you go. And see, that's a newer restaurant.
But yes.
That's a newer restaurant. And guess what? They need the cash flow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right?
Yep. But yeah, Kane and Jill are great folks.
Yeah. So
Kane Fisher. You can follow him on Instagram. He actually has a pretty funny food Instagram thing.
Follow him on Instagram. And follow us on not Instagram because we don't have it.
We're working on a Facebook page. We're gonna have some Twitter. We'll have some of that stuff. We're gonna do some social media.
We're working on it. We're just starting out. Whatever. So anyway, so that's labor shortage, right?
Yep.
So I think we should end this on a light note.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Are you ready for the glockenspiel?
I am.
Glockenspiel?
Glockenspiel.
All right. Next topic is going to be the pop question. Okay?
All right.
This is the pop question. Only I know the question.
Yes, we've not discussed this at all. Two episodes ago, I nailed it with Rush.
You nailed it with Rush. Okay? This one's subjective, but I've got my opinion. Which episode of Star Wars is the best?
I have to say...
And don't mess up the order of the episodes.
No.
Because it's 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, and 3.
Right. Well, I was going to use the name.
And
actually.
I've got posters here
Yes.
if you need visuals.
Well, so here's the thing. If we didn't have the first, we wouldn't have any. But I think Empire Strikes Back is a great combination of the story that Lucas envisioned along with some intensity that you don't get in all of the others. So with Empire Strikes Back would be what I'd say.
I think Empire Strikes Back, you're right. Empire Strikes Back, you're right.
Which is 5.
It's 5. It's the most compelling of the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm going to go on a limb and say the first one, episode 4, because it grabbed me. Well, it grabbed me. It was the first movie I ever saw in my life where you had robots kind of doing the narrative of the movie, and then it showed space as this old, dusty place with a Millennium Falcon that didn't work really well. It broke down all the time. Things weren't shiny and pristine like they were in like Battlestar Galactica or whatnot.
It seemed real.
It just seemed like an old place, and it was set in a galaxy a long, long time ago.
Far, far away too.
Far, far away, long, long time ago.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say for me, episode 4, but I'm gonna also agree with you. I'm not gonna argue with you on episode 5.
From a movie making standpoint, I would say 5. But again, my first point was without 4, we have none.
Without 4, you have none. 4 was a miracle.
It's the most significant.
4 was a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
I love 4. 4 was good. I liked it. And I also like this podcast.
I did too. Love it.
This is a cool podcast.
It was long, but it was awesome.
Who cares, man?
We had fun. Hope you guys did too.
Hope you guys had fun too. It was a good podcast.
I thought it was arguably actually our best. It was just a little bit long. But hey, you know what? Joe Rogan's 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. But he doesn't have his music.
He does not. This is some badass music. I say that? Badass.
FCC doesn't
Actually, that's a funny thing because back in the day when we were kids, you couldn't say that on TV. Now you can.
What's that?
You can say badass on TV.
Right. Well, there's nothing with that.
So we.
It was fun.
It was
It
fun.
was fun. I had a good time.
Yes. Had a great time.
And you know what?
What's that?
I'm not going to do this. All week, I look forward to this evening. I really do.
You prepped for us exceptionally.
Well,
I
not
want
that
to give the
prepped for
props
it.
to him. Greg has worked so hard to make this
It's not that I
fun.
prep. It's not the prep. It's the fun. It's the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Is doing something that I don't do ever, and it being with a pal and having fun, and just doing something cool.
Yeah. So the toast.
This gives me something to look forward to.
That's a toast. Another person we're a fan of, Bill Sherrill,
Bill Sherrill,
Red Oak Brewing Company.
he's crazy, but we like him.
He is crazy, but we love him.
He's crazy. John, thanks, man.
My pleasure. Thank you. That was a lot of fun.
Cool, man.
I want to throw another Star Wars bit in here. I just got done watching Book of Boba Fett, and it's mostly on Tatooine.
Tatooine. I love it.
It's a fun new thing in Star Wars. There's no cantina, but there are cantina-like moments. Yes, you should watch it. Mandalorian is another one that's good, but it's all over the place. These new Jon Favreau produced shows are excellent. I'm looking forward to Obi-Wan.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good evening.
I overtalked the music.
That's okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.